Hello and welcome to Chasing the Finish podcast, episode 21. My name is Mike. I am your host. And as always, I am joined by Ben and Jake to discuss a fair bit today. Ben went back to Babbs Mill again, like we did the other week. I tried a new park run, so I've ticked off another new park run and another alphabet. Another letter for the alphabet quest that I'm currently on. And I also took part in a 10K. So a bit to discuss. And my game is making a reappearance this week after last week's exceedingly long episode, which has gone down a lot better than I actually thought it would. So thank you very, very much for the support shown on that one. As I say, I am joined, as always, by Ben and Jake. Jake, let's come to you first. How are things with yourself? Are you all good?
Yeah, good, mate. I finally got back out tonight since having a week off and after doing the 50 miles in October. I only just done just a short one to get the legs warmed up again. I was meant to go out yesterday. I got in and I was just like, can't bothered. I got in, I was just like, not bothered. This morning I got my running stuff out. So when I got back, it was on the bed just to go straight out. Got in and just thought, get it done. Sooner I'm out, sooner I'm back. So yeah, it was all right.
Absolutely. How'd you find your first winter run? Because was it cold out there?
Nah, it was all right. To be fair, I wrapped up. I was obviously I was just in shorts and I had like 3 layers on, so I was sweating. No, it was all right. To be fair, I thought I was going to struggle because I haven't been out for like a week and that, but it wasn't too bad. It's all right.
You had you sent a picture in the group chat. You had your woolly hat on with the lighting. That go all right? That work as expected, or?
I think it would work better if I end up doing around the park because there's no street lights. Where obviously I stayed around roads and I didn't really need it on, and I was in obviously that villa top which got lime on, so it's kind of visible. So if I decide to do say it's Thursday or something or Friday, I decide to go around the park, it'll probably be worth it then because it's dark. I was on the walking back and I got back about 5 and it was dark then, so I was like, it's only going to get darker as well. So
it is, 4 o'clock now. It starts to get dark. So you're a better man than me anyway, because since the clocks changed, was it the middle of October? I haven't been out for a run after work in midweek. I have every intention to, but just don't do it. So then the only running I get in is park run over weekends and/or events. So yeah, much better man than me. Ben, how's things with yourself? Big day on Sunday. You all good? You feeling ready? And outside of running, are you okay as well?
Yeah, good. It's funny saying just then about the weather. Like, it's not your typical November weather, is it? It is still quite mild, I think, even though it's been abysmal this last week. It's just non-stop rain, whatever. But yeah, I'm all right. I think I think that kind of the weather, dark nights, I think it's hitting me hard. I am struggling motivation to get out. Obviously, managed to do park run Saturday, which is good because I messaged you in the morning. I weren't feeling it myself, but apart from that, I'm all right. It's just one of them, innit? Just trucking along, as you do.
Absolutely, yeah. It is tough. I mean, we've spoke about on here before motivation of whether some people we speak to, they go out first thing in the morning and then it's done and you don't have to worry about getting the motivation to do it after work. But for myself, and I think you two as well, we much prefer if we're going to do it in the week, getting out in the week. And the fact that it's pitch black now at 4, I come out of an interview on Monday and it was 20:04 and it was pitch black. And I'm like, wow, okay, so this is where we're at. So yeah, it's crazy. So I need to break that duck and actually get out in the week after work, and just because I don't even think I'm not scared, of course, because there's plenty of roads around here where you run, and like Jake said, you got the street lights. For me, I'm still sort of trying to find the best route. Where I lived before, I knew I had 2 or 3 routes that I could do that was like 5K minimum. Whereas
Yeah.
at the moment, I don't like doing ones where you have to run down like what feels like 20 different roads and loop round and go up here, turn around there. I like to do out and backs basically, or I like to do one big sort of circle to make it at least 5K. So I just need to find a good route for that. But there is one good route where I can run to the cathedral and back, which is I think it's about 7K, maybe 8K. So that's pretty decent. But I just need more than one just so I can chop and change and it doesn't sort of get stale too quickly. So yes.
How's your week been? You obviously you said you had your job interview.
Yes.
That was yesterday, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yesterday?
It was yesterday. Yeah. All day I've been feeling like Monday was ages ago when it was actually yesterday. So yeah, I am currently in the process, or have been for a while, of finding a new job. So the job that I do at the moment means that I have to travel back to sort of Nottinghamshire / Leicestershire every day. I'm mainly in Nottingham city centre, so it's not too, well, I say it's not too bad because of where I've moved to now, further up into Lincoln. It takes me an hour and a half, and that's on a good run to get into the city centre. So it's just the travelling, it's getting too much. I've decided that I want to try and find something a bit more local. So had an interview yesterday, my first face-to-face interview since 2018. I worked out. Like, it is, because I didn't interview for the job that I'm in at the moment because he's my best mate. So he just texted me one day and was like, come and work for me instead. And that was that. So the job before that I worked out was 2019, and it was a job that I was returning to, and I got on really well with the team leader. So again, that was just like going and meeting a mate, formally and just chatting. So in terms of proper serious face-to-face, 2018. So I was very nervous, but yeah, went well. They offered me a second interview. So that's on Monday, the 17th. So fingers crossed that is where I find out not long after, hopefully on the day. It'd be lovely. But yeah, it's only 25 minutes away from where I live now, so much better. Monday to Friday as well, so park runs and events can stay as, which is good. And yeah, it seems a really good job. I when she sort of described the day-to-day runnings of what the job would be, it was a lot sort of more varied than I thought it would be, to be honest. So that's always a plus. But yeah, fingers crossed. As I say, second interview on Monday at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it'd be nice come next week whenever we record. I'm sure it'll be after Monday. It'll be nice to sit here and say I've got a new job. So fingers crossed. But I said to you boys, it would have been brilliant footage for the podcast if I had a camera set up in my car, because I had the slight dilemma of, because I work in Nottingham, as I say, the interview was at 3 o'clock. Now, thank goodness for my wife, Rebecca, because I wouldn't have done this without her saying this. She said, well, why don't you take a change of clothes with you just in case? And I thought, I'll be finished well in enough time. I'm so glad I did, because in the end, it turned out that I drove to a services nearby, got changed there, and then drove to the job interview. The only slight knack was that there was no, how you go into a normal services and they've got the big toilets. Yeah. Well, this was a little services sort of not far from a village, and it was sort of like one male toilet and one female toilet, and it was a tiny services. So I was getting changed in a Vauxhall Astra, and my back seat is crammed with work stuff. Couldn't move my seat much further back, and I was having to get out of shorts into trousers. Then I was putting a shirt on. Then I was putting shoes on, and I looked at the shoes first thing in the morning, and I thought, oh, they're nice. Not to quote the song, but they were blue suede shoes. And I put them on, and I realised the socks I had on were too thick. So my feet were squeezed into these shoes like you wouldn't believe. So yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. So that was I thought of you guys straight away. I thought if only they could see this, because God knows what some of the other cars pulling into the services were thinking. So yeah, fingers crossed, it's all worth it in the end. And yeah, hopefully this time next week I can say that I got a new job. So, and they seem keen to start before Christmas. So
I can't think of anything worse than doing an interview again. Like, I'm so glad I didn't have to do one for this job.
It's so daunting. And do you know what scares me as well? And I know we are getting dangerously off topic here. You know, this is a running podcast, so we're talking about interviews. But I find it really daunting, the fact that I've done this job now, the one that I'm in, 4 years, and it's then knowing that, you know, as soon as maybe next month I could be in with a load of new people who I don't know, and it just, yeah, it is daunting. On one hand, I'm really excited at the prospect of it. On the other hand, I'm absolutely crapping bricks. So yeah, we'll see.
But that surprised me with you, though, the amount of jobs you've had. Like, you've literally got your CV is like a binder, like literally.
I've had to streamline my CV, so I hope they're not listening to this, because I have had to streamline it and make it look a bit more approachable. Because I think originally my CV was 4 pages long, and I've been told that
1.5.
Well, I've been told that a good tip is if they see it's more than 2 pages, they chuck it in the bin and look on the next one. So, yeah. But in another sense, it's very good, and it puts me in a strong position, because I can say I've got experience in this, and this. So, feels like I'm at the bloody interview now. But yeah, sorry, first 12 minutes of that, you feel free to skip all of that. So, yes. You were saying before you asked me how my week was, that you went to Babbs Mill ParkRun. We obviously went last week, last week. And you went back. Any reason you went back? Because obviously you don't live around the corner anymore. So was it just?
We was going to Briar's Nan's, so we kind of just the little one had a sleepover at his nan's, so it was over that way. So we just did a case of doing that, grabbing some waffles, and then doing the loop, grabbing the little one and coming back. But yeah, I tried to stay low key, put my hat on, you know. Don't want, you know.
Well, we got papped last time, didn't we?
Yeah, so. Yeah. No, I just wanted to kind of, I don't know, just take it in a way. Like I was trying to take it not easy, but trying to go at a steady pace, make sure I got under 20, and, you know, I wasn't just save it, trying to go the other way instead of starting out too quick is something that I always say I'm not going to do, and then I end up doing it. So I try not going out too quick and try and save a bit for a sprint at the end. And it's a shame that I didn't have my camera on, because I had a nice little battle with the guy towards the end. So we'd come to the little woodland bit, over the bridge, round the corner, and it's as you come round and you see like the lake on your right. It was kind of going back and forwards from there to the end. And I don't know if you remember the bit where you come to just before the bridge, Wendy's Bridge. There's like little barriers there that are like that. You kind of have to move between them. We got to a point. This bloke had overtook me, and I was like, "Oh, he's got me here." Like, as he passed me, I said, "Like, well done, mate. Like, you know, you got me." Like, kind of just encouraging him, or, you know, getting his head either way. And it was one of them situations where you can see a group of people getting closer to these bollards, and it's like, oh, I was like, he's timed this bad here, because he's literally going to have to stop, because there's that many people going through it. So I can hear him. He's kind of like grunting and like just trying to make himself audible so they can hear him. So, instead of actually saying move, he was more like a like giving one of them. So obviously they sort of looked back, but it got so crowded around it that he sort of you could just tell it killed his momentum. And I just used the old trick. I literally jumped the bollards. Of course, you got the women going and all this, but yeah, and basically I took him at the end then. So nice little maneuver, and managed. I think it was like 1940 I got in the end. So
1941.
Yeah. So there you go. So I'm quite happy with it. Nice little steady one for start of the Saturday, and then I was literally I'd got Briar to go in to the cafe and order. I had crepes this week, so I literally finished, scanned my barcode, walked to the cafe, and it was there waiting for me. We're the only ones in there at that point. So
really, mind you, early doors, weren't it?
Yeah. So that's the way to do it. So nice little start.
I'll make note for next time. It was Alan Smith you beat by 3 seconds, and funnily enough, his PB is at Babbs Mill, and it's 1940. So he was 5 seconds off getting a new PB. So he would have been even more gutted.
I feel bad because he was proper. Like,
bet he knew then. Yeah. I bet he knew on 5 seconds. Well, obviously he wasn't at the time, but he obviously looked at his watch and thought, "Bloody hell, I'm on for a PB here." I was going to ask if Sergio was there, but I've just looked at the result and he was, and he finished first again.
He started behind me, and obviously the first few went off, and I thought, "Oh, he's not around at the minute." And I think we got to the top of the hill on the first lap, and he just sort of took off. Do
you know what?
He finished first as well, I think.
He did something that I did not know. I've just done the results for ParkRun as we speak. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm not ignoring Ben or being rude. I'm just looking at the 5K app. I didn't realise he was the age he was.
Yeah.
I thought he was a young lad.
He looks about 12.
I'm not saying he's old, but I thought he was in his 20s, but he's in the 35 to 39 bracket.
Yeah, he's a small lad. Looks about 12. Yeah.
What the hell? Because
I think he's the same height as Briar, which is kind of funny. But yeah,
he
tiny.
Finally met him, didn't he?
I know.
The Grand Prix. Did you manage to speak to any of them about the Grand Prix? Because obviously it was the first Grand Prix the next day. Were any of them there speaking to you about it? Or
no, I saw Peter Thomas at the start line and shook his hand and said morning and stuff. He said, "You going for it?" I was like, "No chance." Well, we'll see how I feel. But
Frank,
that's that was about it. To be honest, I just kept my head down, just get straight in, straight out. Didn't hang around at the end. But yeah, no, I was following it on the Sunday, looking at Strava and stuff, and proper FOMO of that. I'm genuinely considering signing up for 4 of them. Because you get, I think you get. I don't want to get anything wrong, you see, in terms of how it all works, but I think you have to do 4 of the races in order to be eligible for the leaderboard or whatever. So
okay.
And obviously there's prizes at the end, so I'm fully debating jumping on the next 4. So
well, we're halfway there because we've got 2 booked in. We're doing the next one next month.
Yeah.
And then the February one, which coincides with the running show, which I'm really looking forward to. But having seen all the posts from it, I put a little post on our Strava group just wishing them all the best, and seeing all the posts and seeing Strava and whatnot, it did sound like it was a good one. And again, like you said, I might have missed something when we were talking to the couple of lads about the Grand Prix, because I messaged Gavin originally and he asked Peter, because I was worried about a time limit, like, do you have to be finished in a certain time, and you don't. But I didn't know it skips out that up and down section.
Yeah.
The course does.
Yeah,
it is literally just the course in reverse minus that up and down section. And then I think
Yeah, where you come out by the zebra crossing, you come out the other
Yeah.
side and then loop back to the start. Yeah.
So yeah, and if anyone's listening and doesn't know what we're on about, Centurion Running Club, they are doing a Grand Prix series. They had their first race of the series on Sunday, the 9th of November. The next one is on Sunday, the 13th of December, 14th of December. I'll get it right one day, I promise. Which myself and Ben will be at. And then it's every month then until April, barring March, because that's Mother's Day, and it's the second Sunday of the month. So if you are from the Midlands, then just head over to their website, Centurion Running Club. We'll put a link in the description. And
what date in December did you say?
I said the 14th, because is it not the second Sunday of the month?
No, because I've just double checked, so I was a bit unsure. It says the 7th on here.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that. Right, okay. Right, yeah. I'm still coming, but I'm at Watford, the Watford game on Saturday, and I was planning to have a few pints, but maybe I'll have to jump on the old non-alcoholic beer. So
yeah, it says 7th here.
7th, right?
I'm
glad someone's.
Yeah.
I'm glad someone's on the ball, because I'm clearly not. But yeah, nonetheless, if you're from the West Midlands area and you fancy having a go, we'll drop a link into the website so you can check out the dates. If you're not from the Midlands area, though, and you are coming to the National Running Show in February, they're doing one on the Sunday. So by all means, and it is very close to the airport as well, the NEC as well. So it's £12 if you're an unaffiliated runner. I think £10 if you are affiliated. And then I think it goes up again on the day by a couple of quid. So, yeah. And when we last spoke to Peter, he's the top honcho at Centurion.
Yeah, he's one of them, I think. Yeah.
So he said they've got about 60 runners per race at the moment. So, yeah, be sure to join, and I'm sure any of the Centurion lads that watch this will point me out where I've been wrong. So apologies about that. But, yeah, looking forward to that. So, no, that's good to hear that park run went well, and you managed to get into the CAF afterwards. That's always a bonus.
Well, you ticked off a new one, didn't you?
I did indeed. I drove to a local one. I did what's called a Nendy. When Beck asked me that, because I put it in the caption of my Instagram post, she was like, "What's a Nendy?" And I says, "Nearest event not done yet." And she laughed. I was like, "I'm not joking. Like, I don't know what it is." People ask me questions. I've given the answer. They laugh at me sometimes. I'm like, "You asked me." So yes, I had a look, because I'm sad and I've got no life. When we moved here, or before we moved here, I thought one of my first thoughts was, I wonder what my nearest park run will become. And it's one of the ones that I've done loads of times. And I was like, well, I wonder if it'll change the Nendy, because where I lived before, it was another park run. That was my Nendy. And this one was the one that I did. And to make things better, it was a queue. And I needed a queue for the alphabet. So I think I'm 16 out of 25 now. Might be doing myself a disservice there. Might be 18. So it was Queen Elizabeth Grammar School. It is 18 out of 25 I've done now. Queen Elizabeth's Grammar School in Horncastle. So it took me about 25 minutes to get there. So not bad at all. Turned up. I obviously had a look at like a couple of the reviews. I had a look at like the pictures. I didn't watch any videos though, because I usually do watch sort of a YouTube run through of the course. So I turned up. It was at school, and it was all on grass. Now, when I woke up on Saturday, I was fine Friday evening and throughout the day on Friday. But when I woke up on Saturday, I felt like absolute rubbish. So I was like, this isn't great. I haven't ran all week, because I think the last run that I did prior to that was ParkRun the week before. Yeah, that's right. ParkRun. It was the PB ParkRun at Babbs Mill. And I was like, it's on grass. It's been raining. I've only got one pair of running trainers. Do you need other running trainers? I don't know. So I turned up and I hadn't looked at any of like the previous results or anything. So I didn't know how many to expect. And it's quite a little community. So similar to, I'd say, Samwell Valley, Holbrooks, that sort of size. I think there was around about 100 people, maybe even less. And it was all on grass, as I say, but it was absolutely fine. I'm just having a look at the results now. 117 runners, and it was only their 34th event. So still quite a new one. But it was, we talk about on this podcast how we get a bit bored of free lappers, get a load of this. This was 4 laps, and on the 5th lap, you don't do a full lap. You finish on the 5th lap, if that makes sense. So you do 4, and then you go to do a 5th, but on that 5th is when you finish. So it's literally... Is it just like
round a field or what?
So it's the school field. It is the whole perimeter. That's the right word, isn't it? That means going all the way around. It's all on there. It looked fairly flat when I got out, but I read one of the reviews on the 5K app, and it said that over the course, it wasn't flat. There were a few inclines, and there were a little bit, but nothing that I thought, oh, bloody hell, this is tough. It was hard to gauge as well. I could probably work it out now, but at the time, I was like, how many K is one lap sort of thing, and how far is one lap? And I started, and I was worried about my thigh, of course, and it did play up to start with. But much like last week, it took me a while to actually stop for the first time, which was nice. So when I did stop then, it was a bit tough, especially being on grass. But I feel like I did that thing of, if I am going to stop, I am going to start up running again very, very quickly. So overall, I was quite happy. I said something funny to you. There was a gentleman who was next to me. We kept passing each other, and he, at the end, I thought, right, I'm going to have him here. And I thought, we always say on the podcast about how it's obviously not a race, but if you're going to get the opportunity to bump yourself up one place in the standings, absolutely, that's something I'm going to take. So this chap had, we were overtaking, etc. And I'm sort of like the last, I'd say half a K, maybe a little bit more. I sort of got in front of him a bit. So I was like, right, okay, got to keep this pace now. Don't let anyone else overtake you. And we got to round the corner, and I had to walk again for a bit. And he says, come on, young man. And I was like, fair play. So he was running alongside me. And as I've said, the last 2 weeks, it's great when I've got someone to run alongside, because I feel like I can, go for longer. And I suddenly realised that it wasn't that sort of run that he was after. Like I think he was just generally trying to G me up. So in the end, I actually was running further ahead of him, and I thought, oh, this is a bit awkward. Was he saying that to run with him, or was he saying that just to G me up? So again, I had to stop because I was knackered and my thigh was hurting, and it was on grass. So, yada, yada, yada. And we get to literally, 300 metres, maybe less. And I'm running. Straight in front of me is the finish funnel. And I'm not sprinting because I really didn't have it in me. And I'm thinking, right, happy days. Next thing you know, right past this guy. Absolutely hit me, G'd me up twice, and he was like, yeah, that's it, lads, brilliant stuff. And he just burnt me. And the thing is as well, I'm looking at the time now, he was literally right in front of me a whole 15 seconds. I've said on this podcast before, a minute is a long time in running. I can't believe that was 15 seconds. It did not feel like 15 seconds at all. So, it turns out
that is.
Well, he's done 427 park runs.
There you go.
So he's volunteered 698 times. That is mental. So that was his first time at the course as well. But
to be fair, he's got age on his side. Do you know what I mean? If you were that age, you probably would have done the same.
Strava come up short again, which was bloody annoying. And but my park run time was 41:18. So look, obviously I'm disappointed not to get sub 40, but considering all things considered, I'm happy with that. 41:18, first run back on my own. If it was a completely flat course, if it was on path, it could have been different. And I was a bit conservative about it because I had a run the next day as well. So, because I wasn't feeling great, I thought, right, I'll probably take that. So, it's another event ticked off, another letter of the alphabet. So, 18 out of 25 now done. Sort of planning my next one. I want to do I next for Isabel Trail. I think we have a chap that comments on our videos who's done it before. And it's meant to be a flat course, and it's only in Staffordshire. So, if that's one we can all do together, and in the meantime, it ticks off another letter for me, happy days. So, parkrun was good.
Can I just say, though, something that has gone under the radar? Now, you say you didn't get sub 40 at parkrun. You did get it the next day.
Yes.
In the state of the Gainsborough 10K that you did.
Yeah. So, again, I knew nothing about the course. It was one of them that I booked a while ago. And because it's Gainsborough, it's not far from me. Again, probably took, 30 minutes. So, bless, Beck said, what time have we got to leave in the morning? I was like, oh, didn't know you were coming with me. So, that was nice. So, again, woke up, felt okay first thing in the morning. But when we got there, I started to feel a bit crap again. But I didn't know anything about the course. So I put a little plea on my running page, Instagram story, asking if anyone knew of it. And a few people responded, to be fair, and said it's meant to be a relatively flat course. So turned up, Event Village. You'll like this, Ben. A couple of moans at run through. One from me and one that I saw quite heavily on social media. So the parking was very limited. So it said you can park at the surgery, and after that, it's just street parking, or if you want to pay for parking, here's where you can pay. I'm like, well, firstly, who's opting to pay for parking as opposed to free parking? But never mind. So we were following the sat-nav, and we come down this road, and this road is just full of cars. So I said to Beck, I says, look, we ain't going to get in that surgery. I says, everyone's parked there. So we parked there, and it was literally across the road from the surgery. Not one sign that said Event Village. It's lucky we got there at a time when there were a lot of other people there, and we just followed the crowd. It was probably, I don't know, literally round the corner from where the Event Village was, where we saw the first sign. So that was a bit poor, I think. I think I'm well within my right to have a bit of a moan about that. And then the other thing which I saw people moaning about was on Twitter, they put a tweet out about the fact that, it had been a successful event, and it clashed with the remembrance service. So we walked past a church on the way to it. And again, because it's all street parking, everyone was parked everywhere. And it was very busy, and a lot of people were kicking off saying, why have you done it on Remembrance Sunday? And absolutely agree, that apparently it's the third or fourth year they've done it. It might even be more, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of people not happy that it clashed with Remembrance Sunday. And I think in the race pack, it said if you were doing the half marathon, you ran past the church, and to just bear in mind, at 11 o'clock just to be as silent as you can if you run past. So again, you know, not great if I'm being honest.
Was you
So
running
yeah,
at that point or not?
yeah. So I wasn't running at that point, but
No.
I ran past a sign which they obviously closed roads, and in a little village it said remembrance service in progress, like please respect it, or what, I can't remember the wording, but I passed where they were on about. But there would have been runners that ran past at 11 o'clock, but I'd finished by 10:38. So yeah, again, started the run. It was flat, you know, that helped. Got to about 2K without needing to stop. And then when I did stop, I'll be honest, it was very stop-start. Really, really was. And again, like the Lincoln run, like the Solihull run, a lot of stretches where it's just you and country lanes and fields and no one about. I think you get the support at the start when you first start. You get the support right at the ends then. And then in between, it is just country lanes, fields. So that's tough. But look, you sort of, there's only so much I can use that excuse because I know what I'm letting myself in for with road races. A lot of them, unless they're a big event, are going to be like that. So just picture, just to give Jake a bit of an insight, picture that 5K point in Napton to the 6 or 7K. That's what it was like for the majority of the run. But it was very flat. So I will admit, 7K come in and my head was completely gone. I really need to find a way to combat these mental problems that I'm having when I'm running. I got overtaken. So I did that stupid thing where I got bothered about how many people were behind me and how close they might have been. Without actually turning around to have a look, I could hear people behind me. Now, it was difficult because at that stage, we had the really fast half marathon people coming past as well. So you can generally tell who's doing the half because they're gunning it, whereas it's a gradual sort of shuffle behind if it's a fellow 10K person. So I remember it, the sign for 7K was coming up and I got overtaken by 4 other 10K runners at the 7K mark and my head just went and I was very stop-start and I was, well, I was the equivalent as to what I was when you boys picked me up for the Solihull half marathon. I was very negative. I was getting angry at myself. And I just thought, you know, I do not want to come in too much slower than my previous 10Ks because it's been going brilliantly recently. You know, my time's been coming down and I thought this is the one where it's on a flat course, it's typical, and I'm going to go and run one of my slowest ones because that's how it felt at the time. And I did really well to not hear anyone mention the time and all this. And there was a couple of close moments where I thought I might, but I did really well to combat that. And then it got to about 8.5 kilometres, and one of the half marathon runners ran past, and he had 2 of his mates waiting for him, and they said, "Oh, this is," I can't remember. They said, "You're at an hour and a half," or something along those lines. And I was like, "For God's sake!" So then I was in my head. I was like, "Right, don't try and calculate anything. Don't try and calculate. Just run, just run." 9K sign, there was this woman who was in front of me. And I mean, look, what I'm about to say, I'm not saying it as a dig to her at all, but this is highlights more where I was and the struggle that I was having. This woman was almost at a slightly fast walking pace, so not quite a jog. And I was struggling to keep up with her. And I was like, you know, my head at this point had already gone, obviously. I managed to overtake her in the end. And then, you know, that thing that I've said before where you're running and you're close to the finish line, but you're not dead close, but you're close enough that the street is quite busy. And in my head, I'm like, I cannot stop now because all of these people are here and they'll be thinking, why have you stopped? I just have this thing in my head that as soon as I'm around a load of people near the finish line, I cannot stop because they'd be like, no, you don't need to stop, keep going, and it'd just be embarrassing for me. So I ran and I thought, right, I'll have a tactical little breather in a bit, and then when I get further around the corner, I'll really go for it then. And I basically was running, I'd started running too soon, and I was really struggling, like to the point where I could see the finish line and I wanted to stop. My body wanted me to stop, and I thought, I cannot. And I managed a bit of a sprint over the line, saw the clock at the side of the finish line, and it said 10:38, and I was like, okay. Stopped my watch. Beck had my phone. Beck had actually not made it to the finish line because her mate lives round the corner from the finish line, so she went to see her, and she actually missed me finishing because I was quicker than she thought I was going to be. So I didn't have my phone, so the activity didn't sync to Strava, so I didn't know what time I'd got. Got my phone, the signal was crap, so I was like, I don't know where I'm at. Finally got signal walking back to the car, and it's slotted its way into number 2 in the race leaderboard. So,
see, that's what I find funny, right? Because I've been saying this for ages now. You talking about how you're struggling, how hard it is, and you feel crap and all this. You're coming in 8, 9, even 10 minutes quicker than you were, 5-6 months ago. Once again, it's just a testament to it's coming. Do you know what I mean? Imagine on a good day, you come in under 120, 100%.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
I sort of said this to Beck. Like, I think you said it and I highlighted it a couple of weeks ago. That because it was at Stratford when I said I felt absolute crap, but I was still in that same time bracket. If I can go out there and say, right, I've run really poorly today, but still be within that time bracket that I am happy with, and it's going in at number 2 in my race leaderboard, that shows that something is working. That shows that progression is there. So my chip time was 1:22:24. So obviously we were all at Napton when I got second quickest 10K I'd done, and that was 1:23:05. So my overall PB for 10K is 1:19:44, and that was in lockdown when I was at the height of my fitness. Now, I'm not being funny. That's 3 minutes off.
That's achievable.
Like, if I'd have done it, that is achievable. And I said on the podcast the other week that I need to start booking these events with the mindset of, right, I'm going to go for a PB in this one. Yeah, I'll be really disappointed and annoyed if I don't get it, but maybe having that mindset, it will unlock something deeper down. That will be like, right, you've just got to push through that barrier of that nonsense of you need to stop. Because I think a lot of the time as well, I physically might not need to, but my body's just saying, look, you've been running for a while now, just stop, take a breather. Whereas I could probably push myself further, but my body's just not letting me do so. But for me, it's overcoming this mental barrier. I've done so well to do that at ParkRun. I'd probably say I'd go as far back as the last 4 or 5 ParkRuns. I've really not bothered about if someone's behind me, if someone's going to overtake. But I don't know whether it was because I was a little bit ill, but Sunday, 7K was there, and I was, the worst runner ever born as far as I was concerned. I really was down in the dumps about it. So, yeah, to get 1:22:24, I'm absolutely buzzing. But yeah, it was a very, very tricky day. But yeah, happy with that, and roll on the next one, whenever that may be.
Do you find with when you do 10Ks, more the ones that have no one like Napton, like the one you've just done, when it's just a stretch of nothing, do you feel like you struggle more?
I would say so, because I underestimate how much the crowd can give you that boost. I just said then, when I was running that last bit and I really needed to stop, but I didn't want to because there were hordes of people there.
Mm.
Well, I've also just said my body's telling me to stop when I probably don't need to, and I am stopping. So there obviously is something there.
Psychological.
If there are loads of people, I'm going to keep going. So maybe there is, and I tend to find as well, if you've got, it sounds a bit like a little kid when he's on a long car journey in the back seat. If you've got something to look at and something interesting going on around you, you're probably focused on more taking it in. And don't get me wrong, it's nice, peaceful, nice fields and that. But once you've seen one field, you've seen them all, So,
of course. I definitely obviously, I've only done the two. So comparing Napton and Worcester, and I remember saying it to Tan, my Worcester times, my splits, everything was 6. But it's because every bit of the race, there's people there.
Yeah.
Regardless of if I'm running and there's no one near me, when you've done the bit when you're in the town and you run down the canal and you turn off. Even when you turn off, there's people on the balconies, of their flats and that. So there's people just everywhere. If that was just all flat, you could easily smash close to I'd personally think I could get over 1-4, but obviously there's 3 or 4 up and down. So, but other than that, that bit with Napton, that. Was it 5 to 7? There was a pack of maybe 10 of us where we just kept overtaking each other. And then there was a woman who was, I'd probably say about pushing 60, 70, who was literally keeping me. I was using her as a pacer because it's the only thing that was there. But I do get it because when you're on them long stretches, it's so easy just to I'm just going to walk. Because you get straight into your head and you're I'm knackered. And you see other people walking, you're well, I'm going to walk as well now. It's easily done.
That's the thing, though. If you want to be a better runner, though, you can't be dependent on the fact of there's people there. Do you know what I mean? This is why we do weekly runs. When it is just you, and it is tough, and you've got to get that. That you've got to have that mental grit to get through it, and that is what makes you a better runner. It really does. So
it's mind over matter, isn't it? At the end of the day,
yeah.
Obviously if it's never been something you've done, it's going to be hard to get that embedded in yourself, but eventually it'll become the normal and you'll be I'm just going to run. But I'm the same. If I go past anyone or if I go down a road where it's busy, I know in my head that I can't just walk because I'm they're all looking at me. I'm look at that jogger, he's out and he's walking, it's pathetic. But that's just because it's a matter. So I'll end up pushing myself until I'm knackered, until I go down a road where I'm it's quiet, right, I can have a rest now. And then I look at my time and I've done it quicker than what I've done, and now I've just got to get it into a mindset where I can do it just anyway. So it will come. But
then it goes the other way for you, though, Jake. Obviously, you've had a period over the last few months where you've just been PB. Do you find it hard then when you don't get one?
I think it knocks you because you're I'm so obviously you none of you check this. So on my watch, it'll say coming up to 24 minutes or 23 minutes. So I know if by 20 minutes, between 19 and 21 minutes, I'm at 3K. So I know now if I get a big push in, I could potentially get a PB. So it comes to 27, and I'm right, I've got to be near 4K. So now this is my last big push. So obviously I know races I'm going to do or runs that I'm not going to be anywhere close to. Obviously with Leamington, I weren't going for anything. I was just running because I was struggling my leg. And then, what was the one before Leamington? Which one did we do?
God, now you're asking.
The one before Leamington that we did wasn't Samwell Valley, was it?
No, it was Stratford, wasn't it?
Was it Stratford?
Oh yeah, it was Stratford.
Yeah. If you never called with me there, Ben, I'd have stopped about 4 times because I was just absolutely knackered. Because I started I've probably done the first 2 laps at a quicker pace than I'd probably do because I hadn't that pace. No, I had the pace on the week before. So it is obviously an absolute bonus because you were there and you're we'll just keep going. And I knew I could. It's just obviously that mental block. I need to stop where I don't really need to stop.
Yeah.
But eventually I'll get to because I'll get to at Napton. When you go around that, there's a little uphill and you go round. So the woman was near me. She's go on, you can kick off, you can finish this. And I went up that hill and I was I'm knackered now. I thought the finish was there. And then I saw people and everyone's like, come on, Aston Villa, because I had my Villa top on. And I was like, well, I can't, I'm just going to have to go now. And then I saw the finish and I saw the time, and then I was like, I'll just try and get a bit of a shifty on. But it is a mind over matter. It's going to be one of the things that eventually it just becomes the norm when you're just running because you know you can. Look,
I think.
Go on, sorry. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, I think for me, just to sort of go back to what you were saying, when it's easier when there's people around, I perhaps didn't help myself because one of my first events was, well, my first ever running event was the big Colour Fun run at the Cannon Hill Park, which had loads and loads of people. And then one of my first 10K events was the Birmingham 10K, which I think is one of the best supported. I know it gets a lot of stick online, but it's one of the best supported events I've ever done. So, you know, you barely there's barely a part of that course where you're on your own. There's always people about. So to go from that, and then the more you get into running, the more you find, you know, a town might have a 10K on or a little village might, and that's when it starts getting a bit quieter. So, yeah, like you, I think it's just finding those balances of, we've seen the proof is in the pudding. We can run when we really, our body's telling us we can't, because we're worried about what are people going to think if I'm stopping, you know, 100 yards from the finish line, let's say, and then keep going when you maybe don't need to earlier in the race and your body's telling you need to stop. So, yeah, it's finding that balance. I mean, I would have thought I'd have found it by now. That was my 20th 10K event, but I'm still with my struggles, absolutely.
I wouldn't worry, Mike, because come the 27th of December, you're getting 115. It's happening on the Pickled Ghost.
That'd be nice. That would be nice. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit, actually, because yeah, we've got it all sorted. The reason I went off screen there, if anyone's watching the podcast, I went to get the medal because I forgot about it. Now, I didn't realise this. Reminds me a bit of Jurassic Park logo, that does. Maybe the shape of it. But that is the medal. I'm trying to get it so there's no glare.
Jurassic Park movies you've been watching?
Not sure where that bridge is, because I didn't see no bridge. Maybe the good burgers of Gainsborough, Morton can tell us. But yeah, nice medal. Pretty standard with Run Through. I think I've said it before. JT Run For All have the same design for all their medals. It's the same shape, just different colourways. Yeah. So a couple, well, the ribbons, I'm bloody nitpicking here, but the ribbons are all the same for Run Through. But yeah, nice medal. That's one of our, that goes up there. If I was to rank the medals, I might do that one day, I don't know. But yeah, very nice medal. So that was my Sunday. So I officially, at the moment, might change. I don't have any other 10Ks booked in for the rest of the year. Granted, we've only got the rest of November and December booked up. The next official event I've got is the Centurions Grand Prix. Probably do the Lincoln Santa run again because that was a good laugh. But yeah, these are the tough moments for me. I had a September where I didn't have any events in September, and it's making sure I can keep that fire in my belly well and truly ignited. So yes, it will be interesting to see what happens there. Let's see what's been going on in the world of running. I've got a couple of bits. Ben, you've got a story and you've got a discussion point. Did you manage to find anything in the end, Jake? No, not a problem. Ben, you want to kick us off then, mate?
Yeah, I can do. Basically, now this story is something I'd like to see us do something similar in the future. So this October, the Taco Bell 50K happened. Yeah, so this is where runners eat Taco Bell for 31 miles. It's held annually in Denver in early October, so obviously a few weeks ago now. The Taco Bell 50K dares its participants to run 31 miles while stopping to eat at 9 out of 10 designated Taco Bells along the way. Sounds like absolute torture if you ask me, but I'd like to give something like this a go. Runners have to make sure that they keep the receipts to make sure everything's on the up and up. And they have to eat specific menu items by the time they reach certain stops. So, for instance, by stop 4, they should have already eaten a Chalupa Supreme or a Crunch Wrap. By stop 8, they should have eaten a Burrito Supreme or a Nacho Bel Grande. And then by stop 9, they should be dead. 31 miles, 9 taco pit stops, all in 11 hours. I don't know. I'm trying to think of. See, I've only had Taco Bell here once, and I'll be honest, it weren't anything special. I don't know if that's just like obviously when they bring these franchises over from US to here, whether they're the same sort of thing. I never know. You'd have to get an American to tell you, but I'm trying to think of a fast food chain that I'd like to do a similar sort of event with. I can't think really. You reckon?
The only one you could probably do with just nailing cheeseburgers at every kilometre.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
KFC's
there is
pure chicken in it, but
I've never had a Taco Bell. There's a Taco Bell round the corner from where we live now. That's the only one I've seen in Lincoln, and I've never had it. It's Mexican food, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not a big Mexican food guy, so yeah. To answer your question, as if they're different abroad, the Dunkin' Donuts in America. There's a Dunkin' Donuts in Nottingham that I've been to, and worlds apart, absolutely worlds apart. And the one big myth though was the McDonald's. So when we were in secondary school, I don't know if you remember this, Ben, but there was a trip to America. Now, I didn't go, but the rumours were that in America, you know how we've got small, medium, and large meal? The rumours were that in America, they had like a super large meal. So it was like a XL, double XL. Like basically, our large was their small. Well, having been to an American McDonald's, I would like to put on record to debunk that myth, because that is utter rubbish. But yeah, I would probably go with Jake. You said Mackey's, didn't you?
Yeah, mate.
You know what? Domino's.
A slice of cake.
One slice or a whole pizza?
Oh.
No, don't be silly. One slice.
That's easy though. That is.
Want a quarter or a side? No, I'd say a slice. 50k. That's still 31 slices if you did one each mile. I wonder, in fact, I'm trying to think. You get a pizza big enough to share. That's probably what, 6 slices, maybe 8. So what's that? My maths is terrible. 8 into 31. That's about 4. Well, a little bit more than 4, but yeah, that is interesting. I'd be up for a UK equivalent. Maybe not 31 miles though. Maybe 10k, something like that.
Well, I think the beer miles for you, innit? That's the one.
Oh yeah, gotta be done. Well, although one of the running clubs in Nottingham did it, and I just think it'd be really gassy. You excuse me. I'm starting already. You drink a beer sitting down and you belch into the high heavens as it is. Can you imagine running? And it's like a washing machine.
You'd be sick, innit? Like you would.
100% you'd be sick.
We should go to a track one, just get a crate of beer and just keep every lap or every mile, 5 mile, and just nail a beer. You have to neck it though. I think
we could do something like this. It's very doable.
Absolutely.
Get it on the list.
So, secondly, just a bit of discussion. I'm interested to see both your takes on it, really, because I don't think going back, I don't think we've ever talked about breakfast before a race, right? So it's only because I was reading an article about that says your big race day breakfast might not be working as well as you thought. Now, the whole concept is, so for me, when we first started running, I was reading up on the whole carb loading thing and trying to get into that. And so on race day, I'd get up extremely early and I'd have bagels with peanut butter and banana on top with honey, basically everything that they say. And the thing is, I'm awful at eating in the morning, especially that early before race day. Anyway, you're right there, Mike.
Are they tomatoes in the middle of that sandwich? Or is it chorizo?
No, it looks like tomato.
They are chunky as. Sorry, carry on.
The beef ones, don't you? Yeah. So I'm terrible anyway, but I would literally try and force this down, just to obviously get that bit of energy boost. But what they're saying is, it's not so much what you have in the morning; it is the days leading up to an event that basically help your glycogen stores and just giving you that extra boost. And so, as I say, what they're saying is that morning breakfast isn't as necessary as once thought. I'm interested to see what's your pre-race rituals in terms of food in the morning. I know you obviously, Mike, you're on the apples and bananas. Surely that can't be all you have, especially on like a race day.
I don't eat bananas, by the way. Don't know where you got that from. I used to when I was a kid. I used to love them, but I
thought you did.
Can't eat them now.
No, I nail bananas.
Oh, it's Jake. I've got you mixed up with
yeah.
Nailing bananas.
Come on.
I am an apple man, but that is all I have. So I used to be the same as you. I used to eat a bowl of cereal before doing a park run, and I would always give myself an hour for it to digest, and then it just I get really bad acid reflux when I run. So then I went with not eating at all before, and again didn't feel great, but didn't massively notice anything. And now I'm at the point where it is literally just an apple. Funnily enough, I thought this is where you were going with the discussion point, but I saw a video, and I can't remember if Run Through put it out or ParkRun put it out, and it was with a doctor, and it was like a reel, and he was just about to start ParkRun, and he was giving a few tips. I think it was ParkRun now, I say it more. And he actually said, I think he was a nutritionist or whatever, and he said that you are meant to eat 2 hours before, so to give yourself more, which I really need to, try, because when I'm driving down to these park runs with you boys, I obviously leave at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Park run don't start till 9, and I'm probably eating my apple about 8 o'clock. So I'm going to start going forward, if I am going to eat 2 hours before, to see if that helps. But that is all I eat before a race.
Ridiculous. What you were eating at like 4 o'clock in the morning?
No, I'd have to have it at 7 o'clock.
Like, that's what I say, because like I've done events obviously starting at like 7. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of them. I think it's at the point where it's just ridiculous. Jake, what do you go with?
Banana. And I'd probably cover it in that maple from Protein Rebel.
I was going to say,
No, I'm more of an after meal run, and that's a sausage sandwich. Everyone knows me.
Oh, come on.
Just love it so much.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. And I'm interested if anyone's listening and can give any ideas of just letting us know what they eat or stuff for us to try maybe beforehand. For someone who like Mike, just something to try, maybe give you that bit of an extra boost. Anyone knows any superfoods that might interest us or anything like that? Let us know.
Have electrolytes. Just now on them in the morning.
Yeah, no, I do that. I took a caffeine gel before parkrun this week. Because obviously I'm just testing nutrition out and stuff for Sunday. I've never ever used caffeine gel before. I think it's one of them. I didn't really feel a difference, but hopefully race day, doing that longer distance, it might have a bit more effect rather than just a 5K. But I'm still to find a gel that I really enjoy, though. That's the problem.
If you'd like a running gel that you'd enjoy, visit Protein Rebel and use code CTF15 for 15% off any product at checkout.
I was going to say, one that I enjoy. Nothing can compare to Protein Rebel, of course. I wasn't even putting them in the discussion because they're just incredibly tasty and do the job for me. But I mean, just find something on par. Because obviously, what I mean is using the same gel for these longer events that I do. So like a marathon or 100K, whatever. I do like to find different gels, just to mix up the flavour and stuff like that. That's what I'm trying to say. So hopefully I haven't got us.
Use that discount quickly before it gets pulled from the website.
So I'm happy with that. Then there's I'm going to shut up now. So go on, Mike.
No, I think that was a good discussion to have. That's one thing I've not really been good at is the nutrition side. But if someone's listening and they know what I have before, and as I say, I just have an apple, and then I eat afterwards. Maybe someone can say, try this, and it'll be an absolute life changer. So get in the comments, let us know what your pre-run, whether it be a park run, whether it be a race, what your pre-run food is, when you eat it, and let us know. My two bits, one of them is an event that's happening, which I got made aware of. And unfortunately, the other piece of news is a bit of sad news, which I only found out this evening. And the only reason it got brought to my attention was it's one of the Lincoln parkruns. So there's 3 parkruns in Lincoln. There's Lincoln Parkrun, as it's named, at Booton Park. There's Doddington Hall Parkrun at the grounds of, you guessed it, Doddington Hall. And there's Yarborough Leisure Centre Parkrun. And I was scrolling on Facebook literally before I jumped into the lobby to this. And there was a picture of a gentleman who is recognisable because Doddington Parkrun has its own car park, and they have the same marshals on that car park every week. And they put a post out on the Facebook page to say that today we unfortunately said our last goodbyes to our wonderful friend Merv Wells, who was a core member of the car park marshal team. So he was the core group of volunteers that run the car park. So along with Neil Skipworth, Kev Lawrence, and Ian Lang, the car park wouldn't run the way it does without these core members helping us every week. And for that, we are very grateful. Kev Lawrence is a man I have known since I went to school with his lovely son Kip, and Kev's wife Karen often volunteers as well. Kev has volunteered 45 times and made our milestone boards. He has since also run 336 parkruns. I've known Kev since I was 4, which seems impossible as I'm only 27 as Kev's 38. Merv has 278 parkruns, 155 volunteer credits. And they always arrive early, get all the equipment out, and Marv was also volunteering just 4 weeks before his passing and was with us until the bitter end. So some very sad news there. One of the other Lincoln parkruns I go to, I think last year, had a valuable member of the parkrun community pass away as well. And I didn't know the bloke, but I saw him a lot when I went because I did do that parkrun a lot. And there was people quite visibly upset at the news of his passing. So it just goes to show how tight-knit a community parkrun is. And look, we've said this countless times on here before. If you've never done parkrun before and you want an easy way, you want a way to get into the running community, and nothing too serious, then please do try parkrun, because the community is so tight-knit. So rest in peace to Merv, and I think I'm going to go to Doddington Hall this weekend, because I'm going to stay local. So hopefully they can do a bit of something in his memory. So the other bit of, the event that I've been made aware. So my sister works at a bar in Nottingham called Bunkers. It's in Sneinton, the Sneinton area of Nottingham. So if anyone's familiar with that area, they'll hopefully know where it is. It's across the road from the ice arena, the Motor Point Arena in Nottingham. And she got handed a flyer, and it says Runstock 90s Run Rave. So it's on the 17th of November, which is Monday, from 6 o'clock at Bustler's Market. And it says, join us for a 90s themed rave run. Try on shoes, freebies, giveaways and more. The headliner is Social Run Group and Up and Running, which is a running shop in Nottingham as well, on the Huntingdon Street, I think it is. And there'll be people from New Balance, Asics, Brooks, Topo, Mizuno and Ultra. If you're in the Nottingham area and fancy that, then it's on Monday the 17th from 6 p.m. at Bustler's Market in Sneinton, and there'll be lots of freebies. You can try on shoes, etc., etc. And that should be good. So I'll post a picture on our social media. So if you're in and around the area on Monday, you can go and check it out. So in terms of running news, I think that's everything we've got. Shall we see if Ben's going to go 2-0 up, or if Jake's going to pull it back to 1-1? Are you ready, Jake? You kept disappearing then. You all good now?
Yeah, sorry.
To claw back the deficit of 1-0. So 2 weeks ago, I debuted a game which I can't remember the name of now, unfortunately, but it's basically Ben and Jake up against each other. We've done it where I've been against Jake and I've been against Ben, and we won't mention the scores in those. And now it's my turn. And we didn't play last week because it was a long episode. So we are going to play this week. Ben is 1-0 up. So because Ben won 2 weeks ago, Ben is going to start first. So I'm going to ask Ben 4 questions. It's multiple choice. He's going to be given a choice of 4 answers, and he needs to score as many points in those 4 questions as he can. Now, I've tried to be as fair as I can with the questions, and some are easy, some are more difficult. So this could be interesting. I haven't got a bonus question this week, so I'm hoping one of you wins and it's not a tie. Otherwise, I'll be put on the spot a little bit. So without further ado, let's play.
Excuse me.
And that come out wrong.
What did you say? Question, please. Would it not be easier to go 1 each? Because then, if obviously it goes 3-1, I can't win, can I? So then at least you'd have to.
Fair enough. Yeah, let's do that then. Well, Ben, we'll start with you. So, which of these events is known as the world's fastest 10K? Is it A, the Great Manchester Run, B, the Valencia 10K, C, the Berlin 10K, or is it D, Boston 10K?
I am going to go with Valencia.
He shoots and he scores 1-0. 1-0 to Ben. Very confident. Sent the keeper the wrong way, maybe in the eyes. Did you know that, or was that just a lucky guess?
Yeah,
last week with the news was the fastest European at a half marathon, so surely...
Was it really?
Yes.
Oh, for God's sake.
But I knew that anyway.
No, fastest 10K, that one.
I knew it was a fast course. I knew the half was a fast course, so I just... Yeah.
Well, I think this is a very easy question.
Oh, wow. I'm going to get it wrong then.
Why is it an easy question?
Well,
You had an easy question?
It was a random generator that I got these from. So let's see if Jake can level it up to make it 1-1. Jake, which event is often called the greatest half marathon in the world due to its huge crowds and atmosphere? Is it the Bath Half? Is it the Great North Run, Cardiff Half, or Reading Half?
It's got to be the Great North Run, surely.
It is indeed 1-1. Oh boy, please don't tie because I have not got a bonus. I've not got a tiebreaker question. Ben, what is the usual race distance for a track steeplechase event? Is it 1,500 metres, 3,000 metres, 5,000 metres, or 10,000 metres?
Is it 5,000?
First blood drawn. 1-1. Question number 2 for you, Jake.
Can we get the answer? Or
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's 3,000. Question, Jake. Which shoe brand's slogan was "Run Happy"? Is it Brooks? Is it, and I should have Googled how to pronounce this, Saucony,
Saucony. Yeah.
Saucony, New Balance, or Hoka?
I'm going to go unhappy. I'm going to go Brooks.
And you will be correct. It's 2-1 to
He's
Jake.
found two Brooks in it because Mike just loves Brooks.
He does love Brooks.
Up the Brooks. I got one of the lads at ParkRun on Saturday. He shouted like overtaking, coming round the corner, whatever they shout. And he ran past, said well done, and he says, "Love your shoes." And I thought he was genuinely complimenting them, like he really liked them. And I looked at his shoes and he had exactly the same shoes as me. So yeah.
Just a happy community on Brooks.
Exactly. I am running happy. So it is 2-1 to Jake. Can Ben draw it level 2-2 with question number 3? This one's an interesting one. In the running app Strava, Ben, what is it called when you record the fastest time on a specific segment? Is it Sprint Crown? Is it KOM/QOM, which is King or Queen of the Mountain, Peak Badge, or Route Record?
Repeat the question again.
So on Strava, when you record the fastest time on a specific segment, what is that called? Is it Sprint Crown, QOM/KOM, Peak Badge, or Route Record?
KOM.
It is indeed 2-2. It's King/Queen of the Mountain. I obviously don't know that because I have never been the fastest in a specific segment. So, yeah, I did wonder whether that would be an easy one for you or not. So, it's 2-2. So,
come on, Ramsey.
Jake next. Can he push further ahead and make it 3-2 is what I want to know. Which marathon, Jake, famously crosses 5 bridges during the race? Is it London, Chicago, New York City, or Rotterdam?
That's hard, that is.
5 bridges.
I was instantly thinking London, and then you said New York, and she threw Chicago in the mix. I feel like New York and London are too obvious. I'll go Chicago.
You will be incorrect. You've just let Ben in. This is tasty. 2-2 going in to the final penalties. The keepers are taking these penalties. That's where we're at with this. 2-2. It is New York City Marathon. I don't know if I said that. Sorry. So 2-2. Last question each. Ben, can you nudge ahead and go 3-2 up, or will you send the keeper the right way? What's the name of the unofficial post-run cake and coffee stop culture popular amongst park runners? So when they finish the race, it's the unofficial name for it. They go for a cake and a coffee. Is it Cafe Crew, Park Run Social, Park Faff, or Tail Walker Treats?
Oh,
I
say them
didn't
once
know
more.
this, by
Say
the
them
way.
once more.
So, do you want the question or just the answer?
No, just the answers.
Is it Cafe Crew, Park Run Social, Park Faff, or Tail Walker Treats?
Park Faff, did you say?
Yeah.
Trying to think what that stands for. Let's go with that one. Go with that one.
What, Park Faff?
Yeah.
3-2.
Oh,
It is. I'd never heard of that before, and I don't know what that relevance that has. The others are far better names. So, right, the moment that I was not waiting for, because I'll have to Google a question very, very quickly. Can Jake make it 3-3, or will Ben be victorious for the second week running? You know what I mean, second game running. Right. Which famous race includes the chant "Oggy, Oggy, Oggy" from the crowd? Is it Cardiff Half Marathon, the Great North Run, the London Marathon, or the Brighton Marathon?
this is just shit, isn't it? I ain't got a clue. I'm gonna go Brian.
Ben, congratulations to it's the Cardiff Half Marathon.
We weren't going to be the main two out of North London or London, so it's just.
I don't know why they shout "Oggy, Oggy, Oggy." Ben, you look like you knew that. Did you?
Nah, not a clue.
No. Well, Tim did it, and I didn't hear any of that shouting when he did his vlog. So, yeah, very good. Thank you, Jake, for making sure that didn't go to a tiebreaker, because I was very quickly scrambling onto the internet then. But Ben is now 2-0 up in the game. So will Jake be able to claw it back and make it 2-1 next week, or will Ben just keep on going? You'll have to tune in to find out, I suppose. But yeah, I think, unless there's any other business, I think we'll call it a night there, chaps. Is there any further business from either of you?
No,
I feel like there was something I was going to say, but I know what'll happen. I'll click end recording. I'll be like, I was meant to mention.
You wanted to quickly mention about the Pickle Goose Run.
Thank you very, very much. Whilst I'm talking about this, if you haven't already, if you can get your songs ready to put in the ParkRun playlist, CTF playlist, that would be great. Yes, the Pickle Goose Run. Thank you very much. So, we said on the podcast the other week, we have got the date. It is Saturday, the 27th of December. It's at 10 a.m. We've agreed that is the time it will be. I know Park Run's on at 9. If you want to do Park Run, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, 10 a.m. It's going to be a 10K, and we now officially have the route. So it is starting at the Alton Tavern, and it is finishing at the Alton Tavern pub on Lode Lane. Is it Lode Lane? Is that technically Lode Lane? Or is Lode Lane further up? Yeah, people will know where it is if they're from the area anyway. I won't describe it to a fault, because otherwise it'll get very, very messy. But basically, we're going to be jumping on the canal via, I think it's Dovehouse Lane, which is just a little bit further up from Alton Tavern. And we're going to be running down the canal, hitting 5K, turning back and running to the Alton Tavern. We'll obviously tell you all the details when we're at Alton Tavern. I'll have a map, and we'll make sure that it's well sort of known where the turn point is, and there'll hopefully be a landmark that we can point out. So we have the route all planned. As I say, it's a 10K, Saturday the 27th of December at 10 a.m. So if you're in the area, Solihull, Birmingham, surrounding areas, and you fancy something a little bit different to parkrun that Saturday, please do join us. I'm going to put a few more sort of posts now that we've got everything sorted together on social media closer to the time, and we'll put in the Strava Run Club, we'll put it as an event as well closer to the time. And if you're able to, please do join us, because it'll be a good laugh. You know, we'll make sure that we go into the Alton Tavern afterwards and have a drink and sort of celebrate. And look, if it's a success, then we'll maybe look to do it as a yearly thing. But I just thought, you know, I was actually listening to a few of the older podcasts today because I had quite a bit of a drive on my hands. And I think you joked, we were talking about Tamworth Castle. It was the finish line thoughts. And you actually said, Ben, we can't slag it off too much until we create our own parkrun. And then I said, it'll be the Pickled Goose parkrun. So the fact that we've actually got a run in place now for the Pickled Goose run is brilliant. So if you're watching this video and it's fresh in your mind, let us know if you're interested in coming, you know, just to give us a bit of an indication. We're hoping a lot of our parkrun community will be there anyway, because we're all out in the evening on the Saturday anyway. So should be a good time. So yeah, really looking forward to that. And yeah, like I say, let us know if you're interested. But Ben, do you have a song for us this week? Have you done your homework?
Yes, I actually have. I'm going with a song that's been stuck in my head all week. It's actually a man from a rival podcast. You
go Indigo Sunsets?
It is the Indigo Sunsets, and it is Let Me In. It's been stuck in my head all week.
Let Me In by the Indigo Sunsets. I don't know if he listens to this. He definitely follows the podcast on social media. So if he is listening, there you go, Andy. First.
Hopefully, I'll meet him on Sunday.
Yes, Tim and Andy are doing the Broadway. Well, I think they're doing the half, but they'll be there either way. Yeah, so yeah, you'll have to try and get a photo or something, a bit of a CTFX Marmcast social media. So yeah, Jake's face says it all. Sorry, whilst we fanboy Jake, what song are you going for this week?
I'm gonna go Always Where I Need to Be, the Coops.
Always Where I Need to Be, the Kooks. That is getting added as we speak. That is song number 41. Now, even though I've just hammered you boys, I actually didn't have a song ready. I think I'm going to go with a song that I've had stuck in my head because I saw a social media post from one of the McFly lads, and I heard the song and it was stuck in my head. So then I used it on one of my social media posts. It's because they've finished their tour now. So it's What Happened to Your Band by McBusted. So that's going in, and that is going to be song number 42 for the CTF Pod playlist. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, please do leave a like. Leave a comment as well, and make sure that subscribe button is hit. Hit the little bell notification as well, because anytime we upload a video, you'll be notified that the video is now live. If you're watching on Spotify, because we are uploading the videos to Spotify, so if you're listening to this, go onto your phone and you'll actually be able to watch it as well. You can leave comments on Spotify now as well, so please make sure you do. And as well, if you listen on Apple Podcasts, please, please, please do, if you can, leave us a rating, preferably a 5-star one would be nice. On Apple Podcasts, I've noticed we're up to 15 reviews on there, and they're all 5 stars so far, so that's absolutely brilliant. But until next time, I've been Mike, he's been Ben, he's been Jake. Keep on trucking. Keep on trucking. And keep,
could have gone bad.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Almost. I'll nail it one day. And keep chasing that finish. See you later, guys.